Abuse of vehicles in Nigeria is the norm that I don't know which generation that that norm will fade away or will become non-existent. I don't know. It's like like I said, it's like he is going to stay forever or a very long time. You know how a virus, well, it comes in, and virus can probably be treated as quickly as possible, or it could take too long before the treatment is found, and then vaccine created, and stuff like that for become a thing of the past and can be prevented. But in this case, I don't know. It wasn't like this because I grew up in the 80s seeing how our parents were using vehicles. The best they were doing at that time with the limited knowledge they know about car maintenance and stuffs that works with vehicle. But as it is today, it's like just the opposite. What car maintenance culture in Nigeria used to be, that's what we now have. Most times, you'll be surprised the levels. Because sometimes you could say, oh, people abuse their car because they don't have money, so they do whatever they can do on their vehicles or handle it whatever the way they can or whatever, because of the limited resources they have. No, like I say, sometimes you'll be surprised at the level of people, even with the so-called I won't use the word so-called, maybe people even that are wealthy enough to actually be able to maintain any car you can think of properly. You see such people actually joining the gang or the norm in abusing these vehicles. So it's not just about the cost. I was talking to someone, more like one of the groups I created on WhatsApp, the Lion community groups. I was telling them about what the real issue is. It's not just about money or this or lack of information. It's just mostly about value system. Our value system of late is just, when it comes to cars, is very, very low, very low. So if I were to bring this close to the brand that I specialize on, which is Peugeot, I would say it goes beyond the older ones. Not even talking about the ones produced in the 70s, 80s, 60s, like with the 404, 504, 505, and the rest. No, I'm talking about even the ones produced in the 2000s and a little bit over 2000. That's not long ago. I've handled newer Peugeot cars. People brought and wanted me to diagnose to know their issues, and not that I was surprised, but then I was like, even uh, as new as these vehicles are, people are actually doing this on these cars. I mean, for example, one of the Peugeot 508 that I diagnosed recently, this vehicle was taken to about 4 or 5 different workshops here in Abuja. For one person to the, it was, like I said, value system. The person just went ahead, saw a Peugeot 508 for sale, Nigerian use, and went ahead and purchased this vehicle. And from there is, of course, the issues were numerous on the vehicle, as in, I don't know, considering what I met when I saw the car, what I met physically and otherwise when I saw the vehicle. So they kept pushing it from one workshop to the other. According to the owner, it kept compounding the issues until it got to me. Money wasted. The interesting thing is, what I found absurd was, how could someone that actually thinks, or that has a body of human being that can actually think and know that this is his name, oh, I am so and so person, how could that person believed that you could take an oil pump designed for a particular engine, designed for a non-turbocharged or non-supercharged engine, from a naturally aspirated engine that has different design, different flow rate, everything completely different from this other engine. You went and pulled out the oil pump from that engine and mounted it on another engine that's completely different. Mounted that oil pump engine. I'm talking about engine oil pump here. Simply because, oh, the one I want to put on this engine is cheaper than the actual one that is supposed to be there. So rather than spending that additional money to get the right oil pump for this, if actually it has failed, probably all this trial and error, they are like, oh, maybe the oil pump that is causing this. Just like I talked about, was it the last video I did about engine oil switch, oil pressure switch, that could give you insufficient oil or oil temperature, oil pressure too high or too low. Someone probably was the issue. Instead of the person to figure out, they went and pulled a different oil pump from a VTI 120 engine and swap it into a THP 163 engine and expect the engine to work well. You could imagine what it took for me to actually figure out there was something inside the engine that is hidden that probably a scan tool won't even be able to know because it's mechanical. I mean, it was a big mess. It was a fucking big mess. But somebody did it on a car that is just few years, with very few, but how many thousands of kilometers? Just very, very little figures. Someone did it here in Nigeria. So you keep wondering, what is it? What is it? I mean, sometimes I feel it's as if, is it really a black man issue? Because even sometimes when I'm talking to some Africans in other neighboring countries about Peugeot, you realize that some of these abuse are also going on there. The question now is, at what degree? Is it that bad over here, or is this as bad as here that is also over there? Or is it that they are just, it's not as common as that? So, of course, even in the Western world, they do also abuse cars, but when you see an abuse car over there, it's as if it's just like a normal, I don't even know. Sometimes we even consider it an abuse. But here, I mean, this is a vehicle someone purchased how many millions? A vehicle that worth millions. And yet somebody went ahead for what? Don't give me the excuse that, it's your mechanic. For hell's sake, the mechanic bought out the oil pump, right? Why were you not there when he was putting it? Because if you remove the oil pump and brought the other one, and you looked at it, probably you were there. If you are not there, the question is, how do you actually value your vehicle to trust that kind of car that costs fortune? You trust it on a local mechanic that doesn't probably even know his right or left or can't spell his name. You trust such your investment, such thing you spend so much on the person, go ahead and do it. I don't even want to bother myself to be there. I'm too big man. I'm too rich to be at the workshop, to come and waste my time at the workshop. But I'm too poor to take my car to a dealership. Even though I'm a big man, to come to a workshop and stay and watch what's going on my car. Because if we were there, if your big manism didn't allow or still not affect you from or stop you from coming to the workshop, are you telling me you were there, they brought a different oil pump, different looking from your different design, and mounted it, and you were okay with that? Because you could say, oh, I gave them the money that they requested for the actual pump. Maybe I was not there when they mounted this one that was cheaper. So the person said, why weren't you there? If you don't want to be staying at the workshop because you are too big to do that, then take your car to dealership and pay the high price that comes with the big money. It's as simple as that. But if you want the mango tree mechanic and you are still acting big man, then whose fault it is when they decide to cheat you, give them money? Maybe it wasn't even cheating. Maybe that's the level of their understanding. As far as I'm concerned, as long as the oil pump can be bolted anyhow inside the engine, what's the point? No, there's so many things. For example, there's a norm in Nigeria. Almost you could actually count how many Peugeot cars produced from 2010, 15, 2007 up to 2018. You can count how many of them are still running on factory fan connection. Any small thing, there's this module that controls the fan and the AC compressor that's attached on some of these like vehicles with VTI engine, THP engine, or generally EPCs, even pure tech engines. Once there's a small issue, which sometimes may not even be an issue, it's sort of them to find out, okay, what is it, the module that control both the low speed and the higher speed and the AC compressor that is the problem. It's sort of them to find out, okay, what's the issue? Or probably they already knew this is the problem. How much does it cost? Currently, it costs about between 10 to 15,000, if I'm not mistaken. Because of that, they will go and bush out, as in you need to see what they do on this wiring connector of this module. They will cut it in this thing, bush it out, get one nasty looking relay, and start cutting wire here and there, looking for where to tap current, tap this, tap that, choose this, just to bypass that fan or bypass that module. The time spent trying to do all this wrong connection, abusive connection on the vehicle, time he was taking there to do all those things, you would have spent about 5 minutes simple to get that part and put. You don't necessarily need to even go to market. All you need to make your phone call, they bring it. It takes less than 5 minutes to remove the old one. And probably the next 2 minutes you mount back the new one, connect the wiring connectors back, and that is it. He said they will spend hours or thereabout looking for wires in relays to cut and join. I mean, it's that bad. The extent of abuse in Nigeria on Peugeot vehicles specifically is I don't know. And yeah, these are the same people I live with or share nationality that will be the same. They will stop, even as they are doing all these things, they still be complaining, telling you how bad Peugeot cars are, electrically, mechanically. No, there was one guy that bought a Peugeot 508 also, you know. In fact, it's this same person, not even this same vehicle that I talked about. I'm taking it from one workshop to the other until it got to me. How long did it take me to figure out all these issues? Because the car was like tortoise. Couldn't move. Every kind of popping up this and that. Took me about 2-3 hours. Both of us we entered the road. I told him, let me drive. Entered the road. He was even sitting on the passenger seat. Immediately I entered the road, he was jumping on the passenger seat. He was jumping and shouting, not even laughing. According to him, he has never experienced inside that vehicle, sitting inside that vehicle, he has never experienced the performance he was seeing with his own very eyes that particular moment we were on the road. That car has never behaved that way, because at the point he thought he made the worst mistake in his life. He was jumping and shouting, praising, thanking me. There was nothing that was not coming out of his mouth. So this my car could move like this. So this my car could do this. So this my car is as good as this. Those 2-3 hours it took me was compounded issues which I didn't even know. It's as if maybe some were there when he now bought the car, started taking them from one place to another. It was cutting complex. They kept mounting, increasing, complicating matter until he was frustrated and somehow he got my number. So I don't know. It's because what I'm saying this is these other cars are fading away somehow. They're already going. So the newer ones, 508, 308, this and that, they are becoming the norm now. Like every other car everybody is using. Or well, I won't say they are common on the road, but that's what basically everyone wants to buy. Who actually, especially those who are into Peugeot brand. Even those who are not into Peugeot brand, but they admire that vehicle and will want to own one if they can, whenever they can. So right now, it hasn't even gotten to that degree where you see it on every road, yet the abuse has even commenced. In fact, the level of abuse being done on this car is as if the one they did in 406, 206, 407 and the rest we are even as a mild compared to what they are doing now on this complex or more complex electrically controlled vehicle compared to these other older ones. You see, one thing about like the 406 and the rest is if you abuse the electric cars, they will mess you up. If you abuse the mechanicals, you probably won't get any reaction from the vehicle. It may take a long time before you start getting the symptoms of what you did or you are doing on the mechanical. Let alone months, years, some years before they start to show up. But this newer one, THP engine, right there, they will even give you the time to even go home from that workshop before they start manifesting. And the way they design those engines, as you are abusing this particular component on or inside this engine, immediately it's reacting to another one. See, the mechanicals of that engine is just something else. Every one of them work with it. So as you are abusing this part, is also damaging the other one. It's complicating matter. So you get a point, you will realize sometimes even changing the engine won't even solve your problem. That's how that system is. People that will understand me are actually people that actually drive these cars now. Those are the people that will probably have a hint of what I'm talking about. Maybe at some point they've gone through this and realized, man, you don't mess with this car. If you really want to enjoy it, then anything, you see, you take abuse from your dictionary as an off. That's the only way you can enjoy these engines. I'm not even talking about cars now. I'm talking the engines for now. Yeah, of course, if you mess up the electrical, we deal with you like the other Peugeot cars will even do. But I'm talking about the mechanicals now. This video is more about the mechanical. You know, people still have that stupid mentality they are carrying on from the use 406 days, 206 days, or even currently still using it. All those abuse they did and the way they developed that culture, they are moving it into the newer, most recent ones. 305. I mean, you need to. I was at one workshop the other day, and someone was working on it. They were working on what someone's 308. He has a VTI 120 engine. They did a lot of abuse on that car, but luckily the mechanic there shares my school of thought on some of this abuse. So he insisted on that, say, to have a serious repair done on this thing, we need to reverse some of these abuses. So as they were doing that, they called and were asking me some questions. So you get the point. I was like, see, all these things you're asking me, for the start, what engine oil are you even using? VTR 120. He said for 7,000. I said, wow, that's very bad. Using this oil for this engine, that's very bad. Notwithstanding, let's as probably you didn't know. This is the right oil. As I was saying that, they were like, this person, you are wasting my time. What do you mean? I'm even thinking of switching to something thicker. You are here talking about all this fully synthetic oil. What do you mean? As if I was just, at the point I could see, man, I'm even the fool to even giving this free advice, because they didn't give a damn. Like, it's all wasting our time. So I took my lesson and walked away. That's a Nigerian man for you. More like an average Nigerian. Because not even everybody is like that. And that's why I use the word average. I mean, it's difficult to come across one Nigerian that can actually look at his car and say, yes, this car deserves my special care. So for that, I will not let any nonsense go on this car. It's a different thing. It happened when I was not there. And it wasn't like I gave the order for it to be done, or out of my nonchalance or whatever. So I will come back by saying, if you know that you might be rich, you might be financially okay to own Peugeot 508, Peugeot 308, Peugeot, whatever these newer models you can think of, or the brand new ones. Yes, you have the money, you can buy and this, but you find it very unreasonable. I don't even know how do I even call it. It's not reasonable to go and start spending money that what so amount to buy recommended oil. Or why will I spend this amount instead of putting it in my business? I'm spending this amount to be maintaining this car, or from doing the right thing or the recommended thing. Instead, I'll be using what I've been doing that killed my previous Peugeot cars. I'll be using that same method of maintenance or handling of the vehicle, or users of the vehicle, using that same abusive maintenance culture on this same newer car. Then I advise you, the best thing, just look for another brand. Trust me, for your own sake, look for another brand. Like I said, these cars, they will mercilessly, they will, you see, the funny thing is their past, you need to own one to actually understand. When you go to market, you start, as they are calling out the prices of this price, you will now have a better understanding. This is not like I always tell people, these are not falsies. That you can enter and see one fake pass and very cheap peanut price you buy and put. I've seen mean even if you serve it for 1 month, you can also always afford that peanut. But this one, even the fake ones, you need to know the price. Not even talking about the OEM. But like I said, that's not the question. Is not just the past prices of the past. It's the chain reaction, the way you behave. Once you abuse one part, I'm talking about mechanical now, not even the electrical that is more even very sensitive. As you're abusing the mechanical part, it's also going straight to other ones and mess up the entire system. By the time you now get to a point where the car becomes immovable, you realize, in fact, only move that car is to tow the vehicle. After you must have spent fortune to keep it running and it's still getting bad, worse, deteriorating. You now realize, man, the only way to do this is either you abandon the car, sell it as a scrap, or you start taking it from one place to another. Keep complicating it, keep messing it up, because even that your attitude, you keep using it. Even as the issues are, you keep managing. No, don't do this. No, use this one. Why would I spend this kind of money on Peugeot? Until you get to a point, you now call Lion King, right? The man who shouldn't ever say no to anyone that calls asking for Peugeot help. How dare you ever say no? After I must have messed up everywhere, why should you even request for a cover from me? How dare you? After I've caused all this mess, how dare you to say I'm supposed to pay you to get the right advice or to solve my problem? So it's the best. I don't know. I don't know when this virus will ever leave Nigeria. I don't know. Maybe not in my generation. Whatever happened, but man, it's strong. This virus, as in the infection, is so strong that even the people infected don't actually know they're actually infected. That's the issue. Because if they do, you could see, but this case they don't even care. So it's a problem. I mean, I'm not even care about all these other ones, the 406, 407, and the rest, because those ones, I mean, if you're abusing them, it's your problem. Just like these newer ones, they are carrying over that stupid mentality when it comes to maintenance. Nobody is forcing you to buy a 508. So it's not like you don't have a choice. No, you do. There are other ones you can buy. If truly you can't do without abusing a car, there are other ones you can be abusing and they can be able to serve you for a while before they will pack up. Or they will become so bad that you won't be able to use them anymore because the abuse has gotten that bad. So the entire vehicle will be messed up to the point that the cost of trying to fix the vehicle can actually get you something better. So why bother? So these cars, these Peugeot cars, these newer Peugeot cars, they are not for everybody. At least let me use the word, not for every Nigerian. Most like they are not even for majority of Nigerians because of our horrible, not just maintenance culture, value system, very, very horrible. Look at most of the things we do. It's not just about cars, it's just that bad. Because people think it's not just even about money. It's not about you have money or not. When you value, it depends on how you value something. Whether you have money or not, you can take care of that thing. If you can't afford to fix fix something or repair something, it doesn't mean you must keep using it until it fails. You can only leave it whenever you can afford it. You deal with it. There's no place is written in the sky that once you have a car to your name, you must be driving it every day. It's not written anywhere. If you do it or have that kind of belief, it's because you follow the norm. You can't live your life without pleasing other people, because you believe that everybody is expecting you must be driving your car every day. Or if you are not, then something is wrong with you. Maybe the economy is too bad for you, or that you can't do without driving a car. You didn't, for your mother's womb, you are not driving car. By the time you didn't have any car, you didn't die. So it's not a must. My point is, if you can afford to fix your car for issues as they're coming up, fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the idea that, oh, when I can't afford the right parts or the right tool or the right technician because they will charge more. Of course, not every issue that required a specialist or someone that will charge you more to fix. There are some things that repairs it. Any car mechanic can do that. You don't need to pay her. But it's only when you start getting some things that will happen, you realize, no, you have to be wise here. Let somebody who has done more proper tools to be the one to find out what the issue is. I always say you have an option or two to actually get those tools and start doing it yourself. Nobody is telling you. It's only the technician or experts or specialists that can do auto diagnosis. You yourself in your own very house can do that. You can also do the repairs yourself if you want to, if you have the interest, if you can, whatever, however way you can be doing it. Or you can do your diagnosis, find out the problem, then find somebody that you can instruct on what to do. So it's not about, stop giving excuses. But then it's just that bad. Even Peugeot 504, you hear people, you're like, come on, by now, you tell me up to now, people have not figured out how to actually own these older or classic or vintage Peugeot vehicles for them to that. You hear all kind of rationalization why this car should be abused. I was reading someone's comment on one of my posts, and I just was as if he read my post upside down, or just saying crap, what I don't even understand, as an opposite of what my message was all about. Trying to educate. I don't know who he thought he was educating. Trying to educate why the 504 or 505 should be abused in the name of Nigeria, or using them in Nigeria. Interesting thing is, people who do have this kind of belief, every now and then they are changing their rings. Every now and then their engine is smoking. They are fixing this. They are changing, buying another one, they are doing all kinds of things. Yeah, they really want to teach someone that been using that thing for years has never even know what. Sometimes it's very interesting. How we gloat on some of these things, and it's a big virus and big infection in Nigeria, and someday I know it's going. I don't know when. The best I do these days is just to mind my business. Use mine. Sometimes I share to anybody who is willing to learn how and why I enjoy mine. Why mine don't give me any problem, because of how I maintain them, because of how I use them, because of how I don't abuse them. So people who want to learn, they will learn. People who want to bitch about, complain how long my videos are, how unprofessional I am in my videos, how I'm not giving out information for free, how I'm not, there's so many things you could talk about. It may not even be about me. How the Nigerian government is bad. How the economy is very bad. How the engine oils are so expensive. How water is even bad. It's hard to get. However, there must be a reason. It can never be about you. It must be someone else's fault. Why you are having issue with maintaining cars, or why you are abusing your vehicle. It must be someone's fault. It cannot be you. Because the same people you that live in the same country, the same street, the same environment, some are enjoying their own, not having any problem. But no, you live in a different Nigeria, so it can never be your fault. So help yourself. If you know if you're not ready for these newer cars that are more sensitive, more complex, maybe Peugeot one is more than other non-brands. Is it not better you go and try those brands rather than you go and buy the one that will give you that will be abusing and will be that money you think you don't want to spend, or you think it's stupid to spend that amount up to that high amount, you find yourself spending triple if not more. And the funny thing, you are not spending it to fix it, you are spending it to create more problems because of where you take your vehicles and even how you instruct them on what to do. Just like when I was telling the other guy about the recommended or the correct engine oil for his 308, he was just behaving as if I even want to. This one I'm talking about, you are wasting his time, because he even want to switch to something something worse than he was already using. It's very funny, So you kind of find that. I mean, let people be, man. If they want to kill themselves, let them do. I came to this world to live my life. Enjoy it the best I can before my time is up. So anybody that finds it difficult to live his own life, look for someone else, or thinking that the reason for my existence is for other people's problem, then better you go back to your mother's womb, so that when you come out again, you start from the birth or childhood to learn what this physical life really is all about. In case you think it's all about you, that everybody is there for you, I'm not, they are not. So I do the best I can, share it to anybody. The ones I will share for free, like I do on this YouTube video, share it the best I can. The ones I can, most especially, I always tell people, if you contact me privately, I will not do it for free. You have to pay. It's as simple as that. The ones I do for free, they are out there. If you have called me, contact me, then you pay for what it is. If you're not ready to pay, don't contact me, so I won't start feeling offended. If I give you my condition and that's your fault. When you contact me, I'll tell you, see, you have to pay this or that for me to respond to your inquiry, complaint, or whatever. That's starting to school me. I'm wrong. I'm doing it wrong. I'm supposed to do it for free. I'll simply cut you off. I don't have the time. I have other things in life. So it's up to you to feel however you feel based on how I react. Because I tell it out on time. Don't if you know you're not ready. Okay, so do your best, and these cars are very good for anybody who is ready for them. The other brands you can go and enjoy. That even if you abuse them, they will even the cars will even be smiling. Why not go for those brands? All right, that's all.